right, welcome back to the 4skins podcast. We have Moitshepi Mokaila
Woohoo!
joining us, executive creative director at Indecisive, stylist, textile designer, and fashion designer.
Ooh.
You forgot founder.
Founder
Founder.
of
Can add
Indecisive.
all of them.
And we see you, Indecisive.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Tell us more about Indecisive. Why Indecisive? What is Indecisive?
Okay, so Indecisive is a clothing brand.
Mhm.
It was birthed from a place of frustration. More so because at the time, I didn't actually like do art and stuff in high school, so I had no art background. I couldn't draw. But like I really liked expressing myself through the way that I dressed. And I also saw at the time that like the way I expressed myself was like a bit like, okay, what is that? Like why that, you know? But like for me it was comfortable and it was my identity. And it helped me have courage in certain situations. Totally giving it a whole lot of credit right now. But the point of Indecisive originally was because in Botswana, we didn't have things that were made from here. And I feel like as a country, well, at the time, we pushed a whole lot more of academic people than we did the arts. So I felt like I wanted, well, it was for me, but also for my country at the time, I wanted something that was made from here.
Yeah.
I wanted to show people that, you know, like, yeah, we can be doctors, lawyers, but we also have creatives here, you know, we have all spectrums of people. Like, let's celebrate the Moitshepis as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what really birthed it. And then the name Indecisive came from, honestly, just not wanting to conform to like what is considered ideal or normal. Just
like that.
Thank you. Just being free to be yourself. Because the slogan of the brand initially was being who you are doesn't mean the world needs to understand, but that's a mouthful.
It is.
Yeah.
I actually then shorten it to be who you are. And that's just the whole essence of the brand. It's like a brand that's expressive unapologetically. It doesn't exclude people. I know I'm sure some people see it and be like, oh, too much color. But it's like, dude, you can wear a red t-shirt with black pants, you know. You don't have to be full on color.
Like that t-shirt.
You don't have to be full on color. It just encourages people to be comfortable in whatever they decide for themselves. Yeah. So that's the point of it.
So what is the inspiration behind your designs? Why do you go for the colors you go for? Why do you go for when you're designing textiles? What is the inspiration behind most of your designs?
You are asking serious questions.
Yeah.
What is my inspiration behind it? Okay, so for me, clothing is a form of nonverbal communication, right? So color evokes joy, you know, happiness, all those good things that we want to like cling on to. So for me, I want to make people happy. You know, I want people
that's
to
solid.
be comfortable with that, you know, and not feel like, oh no, I can't do that. Or I just like that's my angle with what I do. And also I like trying different things in the sense of like just because we've seen this there doesn't mean that's the same thing we should be doing over here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what really motivates me. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you've answered the question.
Okay, cool.
So then you don't have an ideal customer. You want to appeal to whoever resonates with your brand in a way that helps them express themselves in a way.
I mean, it's easier for me to say that, but the truth of the matter is, like, from a marketing standpoint, it's not ideal for me not to have a target market. I do have a target market. It's like for people who may be outgoing, want to express themselves, want to go to a particular event, like, you know, embody that character for that day, or, you know, it doesn't need to, I'm not trying to make it a lifestyle. I'm just encouraging people to like just basically just express yourself, you know. By the way, black, brown, those other colors are colors too.
Yeah.
You know, I use them as well. It's just that people find it easier to be like, oh, it's colorful.
Yeah.
But it's just like all colors of the rainbow.
Mm.
There's a time for each color. There's a mood for each color. Yeah.
So I take it the hair color is also a part of it.
Oh, the blue.
With the hair, funny enough, I had black just before this because I hadn't done black in a while, and I had like black for like 2 months or something, and then I was like, oh, I really miss color. You know, I'm the one that has to deal with myself in the mirror. So I'm like, okay, no, I'm bored of this color. It's time to do another color.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's not a lot of thought that goes into the hair, by the way.
You just randomly pick
It's
whatever.
just like, yeah, it's like I feel like doing this today, let me do it.
Let's talk about the fashion industry in specific. Let's talk about Botswana. So navigating your industry, I'm sure, was challenging. So when you started dreaming about brand building,
Okay.
what are some of the obstacles that you perceived about building a brand in Botswana?
I think for me it's the opposite. I feel like the challenges are more now than they were before.
Okay.
Yeah, because I came into this like very energized, motivated, like, yeah, can change people, you know, let's all be happy. And over time, the environment kind of drains you. And like bit by bit, you stop caring about some of the things that you had set out to care about. And it becomes a challenge in that regard because like finding the right team is hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Finding people that can be consistent is hard because then you can maybe find someone that's really good at something, right? That you can learn from as well. Because I feel like for me, I would love to surround myself. I think I do. Surround myself with people I can learn from. I don't assume I know everything. So when I look for people to work with, I am always hoping that I'm going to learn stuff as well. So it's a challenge because everybody's in different headspaces. Some people just want money. Some people want to design but don't have the patience. So it's like it's a spectrum of different things. And I've noticed that our country really isn't more about business. It's more about like, how do I get ahead by myself than how can we get ahead together. And then it's turned into a thing where people actually use that as an excuse to get ahead. They'll be like, no, let's work together, you know, let's for example, yeah, no, give me a t-shirt, I'll advertise you for free, you know. But that they use that as an excuse, right? But that's not what their aim is.
No, they just wanted a free
They
t-shirt.
just wanted something free.
Yeah.
Free
You get what I
t-shirt.
mean? So then they approach it by saying, oh no, we're helping each other out. No, we're really not helping each other out in that regard because I'm losing money and you saying you're going to advertise for me doesn't mean that your market, the people that you attract to your platform are my customers. And some people actually take that offensively if you like then decide, okay, maybe today I reached out to Mike and I'm like, hey, Mike, I'd like to give you this. Could you please take pictures for me? I chose you for a reason.
Right.
Let's be very clear about that. And when I approach you, I'm not coming with the, oh no, let's help each other out. And be like, could you please help me by taking pictures?
You're direct.
Yeah. I can't pay you right now, but I can give you a t-shirt. This is an example. I'm not saying this is what I do all the time. But I have done this before in more than one occasion. Yeah. And then, yeah, that's when you can say, okay, no, you're helping me. I've come to you. I'm asking you to help me. You're clear and transparent about what your intentions are. There's a lot of like deception here.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to that, anyways, let me not put people down. But yeah, it's difficult still.
Yeah, I can imagine. And at the moment, you only make women's clothes, man.
I make men's clothes
make
as
men's
well.
clothes?
Oh,
I do.
okay.
I've seen some of your clothes.
I made a
I
suit
haven't
like last year for somebody, like two. One he wanted to
that's
be
Yeah.
the Joker. I did that, and then the other one was just like a regular formal.
He wanted to be the Joker.
Yeah, for his graduation. It was.
So-
It really
Okay.
actually came out
So
really
green,
cool.
His
I was like,
graduation
green
as the
suit.
Joker.
he went with the most recent Joker, the most recent movie. I forgot the name of the
Oh, right.
the
Yeah,
actor.
Jared Leto.
Joaquin Phoenix.
I'm not sure. The latest Joker movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
Is it
Joaquin.
him?
Yes.
Yeah.
The red one with the yellow
Oh my
waist
God.
belt.
Yeah, okay.
He even
Okay.
like dyed his hair green. He had the white. Like he
Okay, that's-
committed
Oh,
to
wow.
the
Should
role.
we be like keeping tabs on him? Is he
Oh
okay?
wow.
Is everything okay at home? Like
No,
wherever this guy is.
it was for
Now I
his
wanna see.
graduation. It was like a moment, an event. That's what I was saying to you guys. Like how
Yeah.
my clientele also are people like that want to look a certain way for
Right.
that moment.
So, in designing your products or your clothes, do you have the consumer in mind, or are you hoping that your clothes will find its intended wearer or intended consumer?
Half and half.
Okay.
There are times where it's about the client, where like I obviously take the time. If it's like, for example, a custom piece, I'll give that as an example. Then I tailor make it to that person. But then at the same time, I also do my own research. I trend forecast, and then I choose things that based off the knowledge I know and the research that I've done, I'll be like, okay, no, this is gonna work out. You know, for example, I'm just gonna use this hat. You know, I
Yeah.
haven't even released it yet. For example,
It's
and
fresh.
people
I
are
like
like,
it though.
thank you.
Yeah.
And even like I was wearing it yesterday, just in town. I was buying like my fresh and my gunya, and even like the tuck shop. People are like, that's a cool hat. You know, it's like, and the reason I'm bringing that up is to show you that anybody can be interested in the garment. Like anyone can wear it. It's not for a specific what's this demographic financially or not or whatever. It's just like about if you like it, you like it, and that's okay. There doesn't need to be like a whole big reason behind it.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't think I answered your question though.
That rarely happens here. It's okay. We're used to it. Have you ever felt like an imposter in your industry? Have you ever felt like those who have gone ahead of you have
Yeah,
somewhat
I feel-
made strides and you're now trying to catch up, or you feel like you're not good enough? Do you ever struggle with self-doubt?
Yes,
And how do you deal with that?
definitely. Ibile of late, actually, I have had struggles with self-doubt in that regard, the whole imposter thing. For me, for in our country, like the designers that I look to and I'm like, whoa, this is great, aren't even known enough. Like they're not given enough
Really?
credit. Yeah, I'm actually gonna name drop one brand that I think
Drop.
yeah, I think deserves more credit than it receives.
Yeah.
Rory Sang Lu. That's the name of the brand.
Yeah, I've
it's
never
by
heard of
it's
it.
by
No.
yeah, it's by this lady, young woman, let me not say lady, called Ludo. And I really feel like from the concepts to like the garments themselves, they're very unique to her brand. Like you can't just step into a shop and be like, I'm gonna get that. Like
Yeah.
she has got it right with that.
Okay.
She even actually, I saw recently she did something for what's her name, Sampa the Great.
Sample
Yeah,
You know
the
the
great.
Sampa the
artist?
Great
Yeah.
artist.
She dressed her in one of the recent videos she shot here or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's like she's being recognized outside.
Oh.
Here we're just like, okay,
Mm.
you know, but her stuff is really dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining Sampa the Great right now. I'm like, yeah, I get what you mean when you say she knows her market.
Yeah, she knows her
She
market.
knows her market.
Yeah. And I think for her, I also don't actually see her in some of these things where, like, you know, when they try bring creatives together, fashion shows, boing. I haven't seen her participate in that. And I'm not thinking for her, but I am assuming it's also because that like she's not getting the recognition she deserves. I'm not saying let's put her on a pedestal, but I feel like it's very frustrating if you're actually designing something from start to finish, putting in the work, right? And it's unique. Whatever it is you're making is unique.
Yeah.
And then you go compete with people, but then the popular people win. But you're not winning,
Yeah.
but your stuff is authentic and original. Their stuff is a regurgitation of what they saw in the States
Ooh.
that's doing well. And unfortunately, that's our environment. From what I've seen, Botswana like things that they have seen other people like. they are not trying to cut their own grain, in the sense of like they're not trying to allow themselves to like just, I'm talking about with fashion, and
Yeah.
I'm talking about my experience. I'm
Right.
not trying to generalize the whole population. And I've just noticed that, like, yeah, it's a thing where if you're not popular, you ain't gonna go nowhere here,
Don't
honestly.
cut it.
Oh, that's harsh.
You will get more love outside than you do here.
But are you getting that right now? I'm assuming you have an online store?
I'm about to.
Hey,
I'm about
Nice.
to.
just drop the link.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
Shop
think
at indecisive.com.
I think earlier on Mike was asking about was with brand identity, right? Is it a case of the clothes draw the people, you're gonna design them the way you see fit, and whoever likes them will like them enough to come and buy? Or do you? Oh, actually, you did answer that. You said you do both, right? You also
half
look at
and
what's
half.
trending.
But at the same time, the stuff that I put a lot of thought and love into, that honestly for me, I'll be like, whoa, dog, you did a great job this time. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, those things get a lot of hype. Like, yeah, let's share, ing. But the shares and the likes and stuff don't equate to the money.
Right.
The things that sell are the t-shirts, you know, not the stuff that actually, not the designer stuff.
There's this very popular chiropractor in Gaborone
Okay.
called Dr. Chihambakwe.
Okay.
And he said, fall in love with the work, not with the fruits. And that was probably one of the most profound things I've ever heard. And he even said this to me in relation to this podcast. He said, fall in love with setting up the equipment, designing and writing out the outline of each podcast. Don't fall in love with the reception that you get or that you don't get. So I think it's you're in a much safer place when you fall in love with the work, because if people aren't receiving your products or the finished work in a way that you expect, it can be disheartening and discouraging. So in order to save yourself from that topsy-turvy emotional roller coaster, it's important, just fall in love with the work, and whoever shows up will resonate with the work you've put in. That's how I'm approaching this podcast anyway.
I totally agree with that. And you know, like when people say things and until you've experienced it, it's really hard for you to understand it. I've experienced the whole where I was in love with my work, right? And then along the way, I was more concerned about the fruits because it's currently my ways, like this is my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This
It's
is
your
what's
livelihood.
feeding me. You know what I mean? So then I got to the point where now the fruits are now like, oh my gosh, you know, this needs to make sense. So then I found myself being torn in so many different directions, right? So I'm actually just coming out of the season of all that confusion, right? So I totally understand what you're saying. For me, coming from the before and after of knowing that, experiencing that, now getting into a space where it's like, okay, you've seen both sides. What's your plan, right? There's a lot of power in that. Like, I mean, there's struggle involved, definitely. You are, you question yourself a lot. But I think it also comes with the not having a team.
Yeah.
You know, because you need to be able to, like with you guys, like you have each other in that regard, you know. I do have people that I can bounce off ideas like once in a while, but for the most part, they have their own things going on. So I can't say they're my team.
Yeah.
You know, or they're not even in the country. Like yeah, my biggest support system when it comes to like design and bouncing off ideas is not in the country. And they have their own hub of support that side. Like I talk to them, I check in, and you'll find that if one of them is having a fashion show, they all rally together and help to make the stuff.
Right, but you don't have that
I don't
going on.
have that here, you know. But I mean, maybe not in the level that they do. Let me not completely invalidate like the people that have helped me along the way. There are people that have helped me periodically, but I don't have that consistent support.
You don't have a team that you rely on. So you're by yourself at the moment in the
Currently, you can say I'm by myself.
Sole
And
proprietorship.
yeah,
That's
and I had to go through the season that we were just speaking about where like I was too focused on the fruits for me to then realize, you know what, listen, you don't have a team, you're complaining about it. What are you going to do about it?
Yes.
You know, do something about it.
man.
Yeah.
You're the designer. You're not the one that's supposed to be marketing. You know, like stop it.
So you kind
Obviously, at the moment, you have to wear many hats. You have to do
Unfortunately.
accounts, marketing,
Unfortunately.
sales,
Mm.
design,
modeling.
And it's like, I don't want to see myself that much. It's not that I want to. I'd rather have models. But sometimes it's easier to just do it yourself, because when you start including other people, it's like too many, like, oh no, I'll come, and then they don't come. Or even when you're paying, guys, even when you're paying,
Yeah.
Really?
people still could not pitch.
When
know?
you paid them.
Yeah, or like get out or you're gonna pay them.
hell
Like
yeah.
obviously you do the job and get paid. But even when you're paying, sometimes people don't pitch, or they pitch and they're high.
That's
you
happened
know,
to you.
yeah. You know, so it's like a thing of, this is not leaning back into what I was mentioning about like how you can find people, but are like your views aligned, like are your goals aligned?
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of factors that come into play to that, to making that dream team. Hey,
Is that also in line with the identity of the brand? Because when you talk about, the fruits of your labor, I think that's where a lot of brands generally lose their identity when they start focusing on that more than what their vision is, more than what their goals are. So is that something you're also thinking about when you're putting together a team, or when you think about the people you want to work with, that you want people who share in your vision of what the brand is going to look like? Is that something that you...
I definitely want people that will share share my vision with me. But I am also open to the advice that they may have. I'm open to, if they see me doing something a certain way, they'll be like, it's better if we did it this way, right? I'm not like closed off from that. What I mean by having the same vision or goal, I mean like, do they like really care about the client? Do they care about the brand identity? My brand is a brand that cares, hey? Like I'm big on donating, and mind you, I can donate and I am broke. You know, it's not because the money is there that I'm doing that. You know, I believe in God, right? So some of the things I do are not because I feel like it's going to help my brand visibility. I'm doing it because it's something I'm supposed to be doing. And to further elaborate on that, I'm going to give an example with last year when the pandemic hit, and then I did that whole smudge smiley, an act of kindness campaign. Literally,
Yeah, I remember that came.
Yeah, literally, that came to me when I was fasting, guys. I was in the pits of pits with my creativity. I really did not come up with that by myself. Like, it was a thing where it's like, oh my gosh, you know, this is like affecting all of us. Some people can't do anything about it. What can you do about it, you know? So that's where that stemmed from. But yeah, my brand just wants to make people happy in whatever way possible. Yeah, so as long as they share my views in that regard,
I was about
then
to
we
ask
can
about
work
that. I was about to
together.
ask about
If you
that.
can still make me money, but we're doing that, then let's do it.
Are there any projects that you're willing to talk about? Like, what do you have coming this year, 2021?
I think I am working on some stuff.
Okay.
Like where I'm actually putting my heart in it, properly designing the way that I started off and then kind of lost along the way. So I am working on stuff like that. The only thing I can mention right now is that I am about to go online. I'm going to stop with my tuck shop ways of DM me, you know, if you want, WhatsApp.
WhatsApping many
Let's meet here at
pictures.
this time for delivery. You know, I'm trying to just avert that. And because there's a certain level of trust that comes with having that platform as well.
That's right.
Oh, for sure.
Consistency.
Yeah. And I have had inquiries from outside, and it's always a thing where, like, if, for example, I had someone who wanted something who was in South Korea, But now it was a thing of, oh my gosh, yes, I want to deliver to you, but now I don't know how to do it. Now I need to go look for a place that can deliver, and I'll get back to you on the price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not okay.
It's not okay.
It's not okay.
At this
You
level,
can't
it's
do
not
things
okay.
like that.
No.
So yeah, I'm learning a lot. There are definitely some things that have happened that I look back and I'm like, why did you do that?
It's the growing pains of being an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
You gotta go through those.
Yo, but they
Yeah.
never prepare you guys. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
People should stop sharing only the pretty side of things. Like
That's it.
it's
yeah.
not enough. You
It's
need
really
to
hard.
see the struggle.
Yeah.
The struggle helps you appreciate the wins.
Man.
So like, I feel like we need
100%.
to be more transparent about that.
I think the same popular doctor, Chihambakwe.
I like his
popular.
name.
I quote him a lot. Dr. Chihambakwe says, produce work that's not perfect. So, and just iterate. So the first version might not be perfect, but the second one will be less imperfect. And then the third one. So don't shy away from producing imperfect work.
Okay. Oh, I needed that. Oh my
What?
gosh. Yes.
Let's produce.
Yeah.
You're a perfectionist. Like when you're designing something, you want to make sure
It's perfect.
I'm the
perfectly for you.
hardest person. Like Moitshepi is so hard on Moitshepi. It's ridiculous.
That's such a like a.
Yeah.
I love that.
Moitshepi, hard on
Moitshepi.
Moitshepi.
Moitshepi's hard.
It totally is. But Moitshepi is learning not to be as hard on herself as she was before. Yeah. I think also just being in your head too much, it does contribute to that. You know, something that I realized the other day, when I moved back here, from school, I was
Where?
studying in, sorry.
They don't know you.
Sorry. I was schooling in Joburg. That's where I got my degree in fashion design. It was actually thank you.
Yeah,
It's actually a double major, also in marketing.
Okay.
When I moved back to Botswana, fresh off the boat with all these dreams and aspirations.
Ready to take over the world.
Ready to take over the world. I completely forgot where I was going with What was the question again?
That happens.
I had a good point though.
That
So we
happens.
do need to remind me. Please remind me though, for real.
Are you dating anyone at the moment?
No, I'm not. Totally threw me off guard with that.
Why not?
Yeah, it threw all of us off guard.
I was at some point, like a year and a half ago. It was
Year and a half ago.
Yeah. It was like one of those relationships where I thought I was gonna get married.
Oh.
It didn't work out, obviously. And I'm one of those people that take the time to reflect on myself when things don't work out. It doesn't necessarily just mean with relationships. It's like every spectrum that can cover that. And I realized that in as much as I could be like, no, this person was this and that, there were certain things that were brought up that I didn't like about myself. So there's certain things that I need to work on, that I'm currently working on, that I just feel like I have no business dating someone until I get these things in check, because
That's mature.
I want the best.
So you're being hard on yourself again.
I am. But the thing is, I want the best, so I should give the best.
Yes.
That's where I'm coming from with that.
Are you still talking about relationships or designing now?
No,
because
not relationships. I legit wanted us to go back to that question because I had such a great point.
No, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. You were talking about where you went to school, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when you came back, you're going to take over the world.
Take over the world.
Yeah, but there was a question that was asked for me to start from there. It was like, I was like laying down the foundation and then coming with my We don't remember how. We
That's
all
why
don't
we
remember.
just try to segue.
Yeah.
Segue. I mean, I had that relationship question queued up. I was just waiting.
You're like, so, next one.
I'm like, next.
Well, he's just shaking because he's also single.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Wow. Our
putting
executive
everyone on-
Oh, wait,
producer.
are you online?
Yeah, already I can just see the clicks are coming. This one is gonna be.
But to wrap up the relationship question, it's really just a thing where I'm in the space where I I'm ready for not just dating, for let's be together to plan a future together.
Purpose.
So yeah, I don't want to just be dating. You know,
Mm.
I'm past that stage,
Okay.
and so I want to be intentional with my time with that one. And I've been telling you what I've been doing. It's a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you
There's
about
no
that.
space right now
How do you
until
balance? I mean, friendships, relationships, family.
I don't know, hey, but I've been trying for the most part because I'm big on family. I really value my friendships. I mean, I wish I could have that talk every day friendship kind of situation, but I do have those people that it doesn't matter if a week, a month, whatever passes by, pick up the phone, same energy, pick up
Yeah,
where
those
we
people
left
are
off.
important.
Yeah, I have those people in my life. And then I also have the people that I see regularly. And regularly for me is like 2 weeks. Like honestly, if I'm being realistic, because like I said, I'm big on family as well. So I genuinely make that time.
For your family.
Yeah, I do. Hey. And it's only happening now that I'm in my 20s. Before, like later 20s. Before I was too consumed in being overly social and stuff. I mean, yeah, I'm still social, but I'm more with my family and my
You've been able to strike a
relatives.
balance now.
Yeah.
As you've matured, I mean, I think you've touched on it, but what are some of the things that kind of fell away or fell off from your character, your personality? And then what are some of the traits that you try to pick up or you are actively trying to add to your routine, your character?
Okay. Feeling like the world owes me something. That has definitely had to fall away. You know, I can be like, oh no, but I studied, I got my degree, this is supposed to work out the way it's supposed to work out. But it's like, nah, not really. You know, you need to be able to change with the times. And we're in a time where the way things worked before don't work now.
Yes.
We're in a time where you can reinvent yourself. We're in a time where my business model does not need to mirror the business model that got Google to where it is today.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I've learned. The whole being kind to yourself, what I was talking about, I'm learning that more. This is not completely related to what you asked me, but it's something that has also something that I've learned. You know, when you go to people and you're like, oh, can you help me with something? Like you go to a friend or a family member, help me with something. You go there with the expectation of a yes. You're not leaving room for the no, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Expectations.
I've had to work on that one because it's like a thing of the no is necessary sometimes, guys. The yes can handicap you. The no also can save you from what the yes will bring. For example, I can say to you, I don't want to be picking you up after work. You know, I don't want to do it. It's not that I can't, I don't want to do it, right? So no, right? And then you're like, no, but why are you making, stop it. And then you do it, but you're doing it not because you want to, you're doing it because you feel bad. So you're not going to do it from a place of love. So that comes with things, undertones of resentment and it will pop up in certain things. It's not going to come out as me saying, I told you I didn't want to do this. But the way I would have done it if I was into it versus the way I'm doing it now because I'm forced to, it shows.
Good.
Yeah, is that you don't want to give me a free bucket hat after all the times I dropped you
Yeah.
off?
Ungrateful.
All those times, all I want is a free bucket hat, and you won't do that?
It's the entitlement that has definitely had to shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do a lot of self-auditing then, don't you?
I could say I'm quite self-aware.
To a fault sometimes, maybe?
Definitely to a fault, because sometimes like we can be, let's say you and I are arguing about something that maybe I've been in that area, that space you're in, right? I've learned from it. You're in that space now, right? And now I'm doing the thinking for you. In the sense of like, you can be like, you're being a butthole. You're not being nice, you know? But I understand where you're coming from, so I give you a pass. But then that pass is not going to help you get to where you need to be. It's not going to help you get to the lesson that you need to learn.
I hear you.
So now my overthinking for you is impairing your growth.
Wow.
So quick question. Does the brand Moitshepi and the brand Indecisive somehow match? Because
I really actually didn't want them to, hey? Like, I really didn't. But, like we were talking about, like, how you basically need to really immerse yourself in what you're trying to bring to life at first before you can get help or whatever.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's just the way it's been. What helps is that, like, my brand is really my vibe. So so it works out in that regard. Yeah.
So when we see your brand, we see Moitshepi to a certain extent.
I think you definitely see an aspect of Moitshepi,
Yeah.
but you also see an aspect of Moitshepi that's considering what the next person may be interested in. So it's a watered down version of what Moitshepi would be.
But you'd prefer if they were completely separate?
I'd prefer if they're completely separate.
I think that'll happen over time as your brand grows. I really do think over time people are gonna begin to identify the brand without even knowing who you are.
True.
I mean, stepping away
I
from
would love that, actually.
Yes, I know every entrepreneur wants that. They want people to know the brand.
The brand, but not the
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
This way you can make as many screw-ups as you want in your personal life.
I think, I mean, honestly, that is also a luxury that being the face of your brand in this regard does not afford you. People then
100%.
take their personal issues with you and inject it into their interactions with your business. Yeah.
Yeah, and that can be a problem.
It's a serious problem in a small place like Botswana.
Yes.
you're not overly concerned about the market here, because I know you've got the online store coming. You've got consultants or people you can rely on internationally. So I can already see that you're setting your sights on an international market. And I don't know, that's admirable.
Thank you.
It's admirable.
Thank you. Just to correct you a little bit, I wasn't always there.
Yeah.
Yes. Originally, my site was like Botswana, 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 Botswana. And Botswana showed me that no. It's not where it's at.
Small.
Yeah. But I do hope that in time, people's perspectives will be changed. I mean, like I said initially, that's what I set out to do in that regard. But I've just also seen that, unfortunately, if you want to flourish, you have to go flourish outside first before your people can receive
There
you.
have to be some redeeming qualities about your home country.
Okay.
Tell me what it is about Botswana that you do like. What is it about this environment, no matter how frustrating it is for you and your industry? What are some of the things that you do appreciate about being in Botswana?
I appreciate my family. You know what I was thinking the entire time you're asking that? I was like, damn, I actually really have been saying a lot of negative things. I sound like I just hate this place. No, guys, I love my country. That's why I want
to. Everyone I asked this question to, this is the answer.
I think it's because you are constantly knocked down, guys. You really
yes, this is true.
have to keep motivating yourself,
true.
dusting yourself off. It's really hard to have a positive outlook on some of these things, when you're constantly knocked down. There's one thing I do want to talk about, I think I shouldn't. That would have been the perfect example. But
let's do it.
I'm like, I'm all ears.
Let's do it.
Is it political?
I think it has the potential of being. So I think maybe let me
let's
not.
do it. Let's
Go for it.
But no, now I'm very emotional. I don't want to be fighting with people on social media.
No.
I'm protecting my peace with that one. But with my country, I love the fact that they are trying to empower their youth. I mean, like, it is there's a lot of things you can complain about, but they are trying as well. The other day, let me bring it all the way back. I applied for the youth grant 2 years ago. I was blessed with it 2 years later.
Hey.
We thank God for that.
2 years.
So that, I mean, the process of getting there was really a struggle, but the win was a blessing, and I'm very happy for that. And they genuinely are involved. They keep track.
Okay.
They're like, how many sales did you make this month? What were your projections? how much did you make? What's your plan for next month? How do you plan to, like, they really, I don't know if it's always been that way, but in my experience, they are involved like that. And we do need that. We need that. I'm a designer.
Accountability.
I'm not a business person. I'm a designer. You know, I
Right.
need that. Another thing I want to add on to was, oh yes, just last week I discovered right opposite my at the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, that place, okay, sports culture, whatever it's called, MySec. that whole compound that has the two buildings facing each other.
Yes.
The one side is the youth part, the other side is the arts, the visual arts.
Okay.
And they have a directory of photographers, painters, models. There's a book.
Okay.
You can literally take your profile
Yeah.
there and take samples and you'll be added into the book.
Oh wow.
And we don't know about these things.
For what purpose though? Like, what is the book?
I
It's
also
just
didn't
it's
know.
an art directory for artists that reside in Botswana. That's all it is, a directory. So if you're looking for a model, you go to the
just
model
go there.
section, the model's there, contact them. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, move on to the next one. But like it's something
I had
that
no idea. I just realized I've never even been inside that building.
What I've noticed about our country is, if you want information, go get it yourself.
Yeah.
Don't rely on what someone else is going to tell you. Go get the information yourself, because they are really trying, Shem. Like, honestly, when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, it made me emotional, because I was like, yo, you know, when you're like, oh, they don't care. And then you get, and I'm like, you know what? And it's like on the second or third edition, so this is something that's clearly been happening.
Wow.
It's just that we don't know about it. But at the same time, people don't like sharing these things with people. They're going to be like, oh, I found this directory, I'm going to get myself in there, but they're not going to tell other people about the directory. It's like, your blessings are not going to block my blessings. What's meant for me will be for me, and what's meant for you will be for you. Like, I'm telling you about this book. I haven't even taken my profile there yet, but I'm going to. You know,
you should.
if
Sounds
you
like
know
something-
people.
I mean, we talked about this on the last podcast, the zero-sum mentality. Thinking,
Yes.
you know, if I win, then you lose. If you
They basically
if you
view
win,
it
I
like
lose.
like if you get half this pie,
There's nothing left.
Nothing left for
nothing
me.
left.
Yeah,
So
no other pie will show up. No, there's several pies.
yeah.
If anything, you're blocking your pies.
That's
You
it.
are.
It's true.
Yeah. But some of these things, like, I know I'm making myself sound great, but I've learned. I'm coming from spaces where I was doing the things I shouldn't, that made me realize that this is the way it should be done.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with making yourself sound great. I do that all the time. I make
Blow your
myself
own
sound
horn.
great all the time. It's perfectly okay.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
Defending myself. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
So, man, you know what I'm about to ask, right? So the last
This has been such an amazing podcast already.
the last podcast. I'm trying to pivot, by the way.
Okay.
The last podcast, we asked Hazel the question, "What was your worst date?" And it was so hilarious. the dude that took it to Lobatsi.
Yeah, that one. That one was
And
wasn't.
then proceeded to treat it like it was like an HR interview or something.
Wait, what?
What?
So I'm basically gonna ask you the same question or a similar question. What is one of the worst dates you've ever been on, and what did the guy do that made it so horrible?
Jeez, guys.
You don't have to mention any names.
No, you don't have
it's
to
only-
mention
It's only
names.
because, like, I am so forgetful. God has blessed me with that, though. Like, there's just, like, certain things that I just won't remember anymore, because
Yeah.
if it's, like,
It'll just make you
if
mad.
it's making me emotional or mad, it's, like, out. But, I'm sure there's something worse than this, but just off the top of my head, I think it's just more assuming. I won't even say worst date. Let me say worst interaction.
Okay, let's go with that.
Yeah. Is when guys use the same things that they use on other girls on you. When they are not tailor making their approach to the kind of person you are, but using what they think works on all ladies on you. Because then it's just like, you don't care.
Yeah.
You don't care about who I am. yeah, fine. Girls like flowers. I like pot plants. You know,
Succulents.
like I like the ones that aren't gonna die in
Yeah.
2-3 days. I want to take care of it. You know, I think so. I wouldn't say it's the worst. I think it's just something that guys need to be mindful of. That if like you're interested in someone, think about them.
Yeah.
Don't think about what's worked for you in the past. Think about that person, like what they care about, like what made you be interested in them. Like, I mean, obviously, yeah, fine, the first thing can be attraction, but when you speak to someone, there are other things you pick up on.
Yes.
Like, don't lose sight of that, guys. Don't be watching music videos and think that because women are okay being treated this way, that it's how everyone. No,
Yeah.
guys, no. We're different.
Okay, so speak more to some of your deal breakers. What are some of the things that if the guy shows up with,
It's like, wow.
you're just like, no, like,
Yeah.
no, definitely
Oh.
not, no.
No.
I don't like people telling me how humble they are. Like, why?
What if they're humble?
No, but why?
Who's humble says
very
that.
humble.
Yeah,
Oh,
no
I'm
one will
very
say
humble.
that.
Oh, no. Like, it's like, if you're humble, I'll be able to tell you're humble. You know?
But you have to keep saying it like
No,
advertising.
guys. I'm humble, but I make all this money, you know? But I'm very humble.
I'm humble with my money.
It's like, yeah, I'm obviously just using making up examples right now. But like, yeah, I just had like a very big deal,
It's always the
like
tender.
that made
Always the tender
like a
shit.
lot of money.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, I almost missed out on, but you know, thank God I'm humble.
The telltale sign for that is when they give you a number. That's when you know that this guy's for real. When he gives you a number like, yeah, I just made about 7-8 million. It's nothing.
It's nothing.
And you
Yeah.
just know. Yeah,
It's
okay.
not nothing. You
Like
felt the need.
she's referencing like one person in particular.
I really hope they don't watch this actually.
No, whoever you are, you know yourself.
You know yourself,
Too
man.
late. Now you know.
Just be
Be
humble,
humble.
guys. Just
So what else? Besides, okay,
just
false
be who
humility.
yourself.
You don't like false humility.
False humility.
I hate false
Okay, what else?
humility.
This is good.
I hate people that are just not comfortable with themselves. And let me not say I hate people that are not comfortable with themselves. I prefer that you're authentic about who you are. Don't try look at me and be like Moitshepi like colors in
So be
Moitshepi likes
colourful.
long nails.
Yeah.
So that means Moitshepi likes lavish things.
Right.
You know.
Ah.
So I'm going to approach Moitshepi from a lavish point
Hmm.
of view. You know.
Okay.
So that's something people should consider. That's also leaning into what I was saying about like how read the room, read the person that you're trying to approach. Past the point of what they look like, guys. Like, we are females, we like to look good. These nails are for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the nails can still eat maguinya.
They do. Did I tell you guys about my
Yo, you did.
Oh my gosh!
And she said it in passing. She's like, no, I was just buying my fresh chips. And I was like, huh?
That's actually my
Pump
favorite
tetras.
street food, hey?
Yeah.
I'm
Fat
loving the
cakes and
authenticity.
my
Yes.
fresh.
That was good.
Yeah.
I actually didn't realize I said that. Hey?
But these are the things that are going to make you relatable to your audience and your
Yes.
market.
I
right?
suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's
What, the
regular...
fact that she eats fat cakes?
Yeah.
Hey, we keep
It's
bringing
what
this up.
It's
No,
what normal
kinda-
people
You
eat.
should actually design like a textile pattern with just like my fresh and fat cake.
Oh, guys.
Right?
You know what?
I want my royalties.
Those could actually be really cool. Have you seen the ones with the fries, the McDonald's?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
these things, like we're laughing now, but these things could be things.
All I'm saying is that I want my royalties. When it starts popping up,
Sir, you have the witnesses.
that's it.
It's on camera.
I
And it's going to
wasn't
be on
here.
YouTube, so...
This guy told you he doesn't have your back.
Like I wasn't here. I'm not here.
Yeah, that's why you're no longer an executive producer, man. Like,
Executive
you're out.
producer.
I
Yeah,
can't.
this is why we fired you. This kind of disloyalty that we don't like.
Wow, guy.
So, guys, we're reaching the end of our podcast.
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah.
It's about an
It's been
hour,
awesome, man.
Yeah,
It's already been an hour.
No,
guys,
it hasn't.
seriously?
It's been 51 minutes.
Oh, wow. Though,
Yeah.
still.
But I have one more question.
Okay.
Ask the question, and then we're going to have to wrap up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your facial expression is like telling me to
Uh-oh.
brace myself.
Uh-oh.
Creator's block.
Okay.
Designer's block. How would you overcome that one?
I would say for me with that one, the times that I have experienced that, I would like look at what caused that and see if that there's maybe like next time ways to curb that. If I like feel like, for example, hey, if you have a temper problem, right? You can feel it when it's about to start brewing in you. So then you know I need to walk away. For example, with a creator's block, if I'm getting too overwhelmed, I can feel that coming about. So then if I see that I'm getting too overwhelmed, it's like, okay, take a break, go do something else. And something else doesn't mean something that's now still going to require brain activity. Like go play with the kids, man. Like go do something else. So like for me, more so my creative block has come from just being the one that's like business, marketing, then I'm not making time for the creativity because the creativity takes time. You have to do research.
Yeah.
You're going to have one idea that's been refined 20 times before it's the right one. So you need to give yourself the time to do that.
Yeah.
But now when your schedule has too many things that are happening, you're not creating the time for that. So like for me, I noticed by like how many things I have going on, then I need to be intentional and be like, okay, these 2 days are my creating days for something. Yeah.
Moitshepi Mokaila, you've been on the 4skins podcast. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you,
pleasure.
guys.
Actually, is there anything that you want to tell people?
Yes.
Plug yourself.
Oh, first of all, I love my country, guys. I know, I know I was saying some things, but I was sharing from my experiences and
Your
what I have
frustrations.
gone through. And to be honest, I am coming from dealing with these very recently, so they're still fresh in my mind. Let's just make that clear, okay? They
All
are.
right. I think you've apologized.
Yeah.
And then where can we find you on social media?
I have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Okay.
Facebook is Indecisive. Thank goodness when I made the name, it allowed me. Twitter, it's Indecisive BW. Instagram is in_decisive_official. They had taken all the names. But you know what? It is what it is.
I would encourage everyone to go to your Facebook
Okay.
page. That header picture that you have is fire.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
And you know what? As you're mentioning this, I just realized my brother helps me a great deal. He's a photographer, videographer. Well, he doesn't want to be a videographer. I don't know, but he can do both.
Yeah.
He has been one of my biggest support systems.
Family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's what I mean also by family. But yeah, he's been also one of my close friends, Michelle. She's a graphic designer and a brand analyst or a marketer. I'm sorry, Michelle, I forgot the title. But she has a full schedule, but she takes the time to help me.
Wow.
You see what I mean? Like, I do have support. It's just, I obviously wish it could be like on a more Monday to Friday, but I am thankful for the support that I do have. And if I forgot to mention your name, guys, I just forgot. It is not in any way a reflection of how I feel or appreciate your efforts.
Don't matter. Don't matter. Someone's upset already.
Someone is upset, but I love you.
Somebody's like,
In closing, all I would like to say is believe in yourself. It is hard. And the struggles can last for more than a month, more than a year, 2 years, 3 years. It's, all our journeys are different. Stop comparing yourself. Stop it. I know it's hard and I know you'll have your moments. I have my moments too, but keep reminding yourself to stop doing that because it's just going to stunt your growth, stunt the direction you're supposed to be taking. And who's to say the way you're going about things isn't going to be a blueprint for people coming after you?
Right.
Like, learn to make your own path.
Yeah.
It's okay to separate yourself from the pack. We've all heard that a lot.
Yeah.
But some of these things carry a lot of weight that we just really need to allow ourselves to say over and over again for it to like really be embedded in us. But yeah, just be comfortable doing what it is that you believe is the right thing to do, even if you don't have enough support. Start from home. That's enough. Like, don't seek validation from people that haven't even seen you from start to where you are now. They don't know your journey.
I love that.
So don't compare yourselves with Hape. people only show you the good things. Remember that people only show you the good things. They don't show you the struggles. When you're there like, hey, why didn't my things work out the way they're working out for these people? But they were in dark times too. They could still be in dark times and they're posting something lovely. Like, I mean, let's be honest with ourselves about that one. Yeah. Just trust your process.
And it'll come.
It will come together. Pray.
Eventually.
Oh my
Pray.
gosh, pray. You know, I believe in God. We all have our different religions, so whatever works for you. But for me, I'm saying pray. In the moment it may seem futile, but there is always a bigger plan. And I can tell you now, the things that I've struggled with have equipped me with the tools to handle the blessings that come today.
Come on.
So yeah, that's it.
I love it.
I feel like I've spoken so much already.
Once again, thank you.
Thank you for
All right,
having me.
4skins.
Guys, it sounds so weird.
It's the number.
I feel like you guys always have to explain to people.
We do endlessly. Always have to explain to people what 4skins really means. And we tell them, don't go to Google and be like, no, I'll figure it out. I'll search for it on Google. No. You'll find things that you
you gotta write the whole thing. 4skins podcast.
Podcast.
You have to specify. If
Yeah.
you don't, yeah, it's not a good idea.